Before I get too much into this episode about Josh Gordon, just want to remind everybody that this Sunday at 5, Kyle and I will be doing our podcast live. First time we've done a live podcast. We're both looking forward to it. Should be fun. And so definitely make sure you come by. Check us out. It's 5 Eastern. So Sunday, 5 Eastern. That's the Sunday the 6th at 5 Eastern. Everyone make sure you check that out. Should be a very fun show. We're going to preview the whole week 1 matchup. So yeah, just wanted to make sure you guys are aware of that, and back to your regularly scheduled video. Okay, well, it's official. Josh Gordon is kind of back in the NFL. I mean, he's been signed by the Seahawks, although he still needs to be allowed back in the NFL by the NFL, so there's that sort of weird thing. We'll see if he gets suspended or if he gets not reinstated whatsoever. A lot of interesting stuff, but I do think that it's worth mentioning. I do think it's worth talking about how Josh Gordon still is a good player. Like, it's definitely pretty crazy how someone like Josh Gordon, I mean, he's the clear example of just, if he could just, get his head screwed on straight, not worry about the off-the-field stuff, and just focus on the field, he could have been so great. But even now, he could still be a solid contributor with Seattle. I mean, he was a solid contributor with Seattle last year. Like, let's get into it. Let's do some film study, and then I'll talk a little bit more about the whole situation. So, it's going to be a cover 4 zone on this play. This is actually the most recent catch he's had in the NFL. I'm going to say it that way. Not last catch in the NFL. Most recent catch. And basically what he's going to try and do here is just split the defense deep. So he's going to run deep. It's cover 4. So you would think, well, there's 2 players deep, so he definitely won't be able to get open. He's running into a double team. But that's not always the case. Mostly because there is several times when you're in this situation, you sort of expect your teammate to take on a different role. And while someone is supposed to be going deep and someone is supposed to be covering shallow, miscommunications can happen very often, and all it takes is one step in the wrong direction to really allow Gordon to get by them. And watch how Gordon does have the speed where, again, it's not exactly a perfectly played by Carolina. They didn't communicate correctly, and because of that, Gordon was able to take advantage and get a huge gain. Again, this is kind of that football thing of, like, who really made the play? Well, really, it was the Carolina defensive backs really not being on the same page, but to a much bigger extent, it was Josh Gordon and it was Russell Wilson making that throw, simply because they made Carolina make that mistake. Those mistakes are going to happen, but they're going to happen a lot more when you have someone like Gordon who gets there so quickly that you don't really realize what's going on until it's too late. Josh Gordon, he kind of reminds me a bit of Russell Westbrook, and that might seem like a bit of an odd comparison, but if you're not a basketball fan, Westbrook's the kind of guy where he often will go towards the rim as opposed to just taking a shot, and oftentimes when you know that he's going to the rim, you still can't stop him because of how good he is at doing that. And likewise with Gordon, he's the kind of guy where sometimes he'll be making a move, you'll know it's coming, and he'll still be able to beat you with that move. This is an example of what I'm talking about. It's a cover 1 play, so a one-on-one matchup. He's running an out route to the bottom of the screen. That's the way this play is working. And he runs a stem portion of this route, and it's fine. I mean, it wasn't a bad stem portion of the route whatsoever. I mean, he didn't give away too much. But you notice that the Rams defensive back is doing a pretty good job of realizing what's going on, and he's going to try and make a break on this ball. I mean, he realizes that it's going to be an out route. He reads this very well, so give him credit. I mean, that's just a good read. It wasn't a bad ran route by Gordon, just a really, really well-ran route. But still, the advantage is Gordon still can cut at any moment. So even though the defensive back knows he's going to the outside, he doesn't know exactly when, which shouldn't be that big of a deal, but Gordon can cut so quickly because he surprised him just a little bit, he is able to get that completion. Now, I'm sure a part of it might have been that Gordon cut right before the first down marker on that play, but it was also just second down, so that was still, a great play by Gordon. This play's another great example. It's a cover 4 zone. Gordon is the one who I have circled in white. He's running a route that's going to, basically the way this play is going to work is that the receiver who's closest to the offensive line on the bottom of the screen is going to kind of run just over the middle. And basically what he's trying to do is just push the Ram who's in charge of covering the middle of the field, further in. So therefore, Gordon, when he runs his route, This now means that basically there's going to be a bigger gap in coverage. This play is going to work out, but really I want you to just watch Gordan and watch his speed and watch how he's able to run this route so well. Or watch how, again, it's just the explosiveness, how quickly he's able to get to his spot. He gets wide open because the play worked, and he's able to make a catch despite the fact that he had a ram on him. Again, just a really good play, really well-ran route, and that's kind of what he can do. I'm not going to sit here and say he's some expert route runner, but the physical tools, they're still there. They've never left. The physical tools are always still there. Like one more example of that, I think, is this play, where it's going to be a cover one play. It's cover one man coverage. Josh Gordan running a route. It's just going to go over the middle. Pretty simple play. But, what a lot of guys do here is they use footwork, right? They try to, make the player who is covering them think they're doing one thing, do something else. So use the mind games or use footwork. There's several things you can do. But what Gordan is going to do is none of that. He just calmly steps in front of that 49er player. And in a lot of instances, when you do this, this is not a great move because the defensive back, all he has to do is reach around, either knock the ball out or slap your arm the second you touch the ball. You're not going to be able to make the grab. But Gordan is so big, it's going to be a lot further that that defensive back has to go to try and make a play. And Wilson makes a good throw, but Gordan just able to basically box him out, like it's basketball, and make the catch. I mean, he kind of plays like a basketball player out there to some degree. I really like Josh Gordan's game, and there's no doubt about it that, a wide receiving core of Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, and Josh Gordan, that's a pretty fantastic 1-2-3, and it would help a little bit that you got guys like Russell Wilson and Chris Carson on that offense as well. The line's not the best, but it's not the worst either, in fairness. Certainly bottom of the pack, but not, it's a lower rung down. It's not the lowest rung, but nevertheless, still kind of a weakness there. But in terms of everything else, that offense is great. The whole question, of course, is just what the question has always been with Josh Gordan. Can he keep his head screwed on straight when he's off the field? On the field, he's never been a problem. It's always been off the field. You feel bad for the guy. Everyone roots for the guy. But we'll just hope that things work out this time. But, I think a lot of people kind of feel like we've been burned 100 times already. We've given up on you. But, hey, I mean, I hope for the best. I won't give up on him, but yeah, it's definitely frustrating to see what's happened. But hopefully, finally, he's had a wake-up call. Let's just hope on that. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoy this video. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.